Good morning, Lock Pod. We are we're here and we're ready to roll.
Hey, John.
How's it going?
Traumatized.
Good.
Yeah. Lindsay's traumatized. I mean,
She got hoodwinked.
yeah, she did. Yeah.
Nobody.
Period.
I
Flat
just pay
out.
attention to the
Yes.
group chat. I didn't know I was walking into
So
nobody familiar.
we are here, and part of the plan today is try to start Sexy Tuesdays
Okay.
Oh my
on
God.
Lock Pod. So I mean, this is I don't want to say the B team because you're a rock star.
I don't know about that. If we're the B team, we're just a different team.
Okay, yeah, we're a different team. Like when you're going to see the Globetrotters play the Washington Generals,
Yeah.
and then this other team comes in that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that.
is that us?
It is kind of us.
Yeah, I
well,
think so.
the other part is as you can see, John and I we're into the fall fashion.
Yes.
John has black on today. I have plaids. Just a nod to Kevin. I have on a Brooks Brothers shirt and jacket.
Whoa.
He was a big fan of the Brooks Brothers.
Yeah.
That's all he
I think
talks
was,
about.
I think he was sad when they closed down. I remember hearing that in an episode.
That was like episode 2.
I remember that.
We're here today.
Yeah.
We're here today because Kevin and Thomas are in French Lick. They are going to the mayor's conference
Being
this year, like they
completely
always
serious,
Yes.
Not
Yes.
having a good time
we allowed
whatsoever.
to talk?
No.
So many meetings.
Oh, it's
So
rigorous
boring.
down there.
do. They did get a free room at the new French Lick Sybaris.
I heard
yeah.
about that a
Yeah.
few weeks ago, John.
Steve Kellogg, he's reaching out partly for Sexy Tuesdays. We're trying to
integrate that into the thing.
Yeah, because that the new French Lick Sybaris is the next closest one to us other than Schaumburg, and Schaumburg has stonewalled us for now 16
Well,
16
that's
seasons.
kind of rude. You'd think you'd have a little more cooperation with the state of Illinois with that.
Yeah, I give Steve Kellogg some ideas for sponsorships, and I feel like he doesn't run with them, so I take it upon myself
To push it down the field.
to contact people from that Big Balls
Big Balls
email.
website?
Yeah, no, the Big Balls email that Steve uses,
Nice.
and so far, Sybaris and Lions Den are a no-go for us, and I
Look, you know what? There's a lot of Lions Dens in Indiana.
true.
It seems like
Can
they
you
would
can
want
you
to
break
partner.
break that down and give us the
I'm
addresses?
going to guess, John. Well, first of all, I think the first dildo store that I knew of was located at
7:38 in the morning.
Well, that's what they sell in there.
I mean,
and other stuff.
look, like what?
I don't know. I only know what people tell me. So I was driving by, and there's a one off the exit off I-65, and I was going to go
Lol,
get.
right?
I was
Yeah.
going to go get a McMuffin,
Yes.
and McDonald's was not open yet. So I was
Okay.
just driving around,
Oh,
and I
sure.
did a U-turn, and I'm in. Next thing you know, I'm in the parking lot of the Lions.
Of the old Stuckies, yeah, they're in the hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But no, they seem to gravitate towards exits off highways.
Yeah, and I think
Active business, again, active business. There's a market.
I'm assuming there's a lot of truck drivers there.
When it was early, as I said, I was getting a McMuffin, so
Yeah.
it wasn't
What'd you buy from Lions Den?
nothing at the
okay.
time. I was hungry.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I really wasn't going to do anything.
I mean,
I'm sure they've got a couple edible things. there.
Oh yes, yeah they do. We're not going to get into that.
No,
we're not. So I want to thank you for coming in today and doing this with me because
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that filling in the shoes of Tom and Kevin are difficult, but we got it, and we're going to make Lindsay talk and make Ves Marcus talk. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's so much craziness and intensity going around in this
Super
world.
tense.
Yeah, it just feels like weird times. It feels like we're living in an intense period of history, and it probably feels like the 60s and the 70s.
I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
People are out of bounds.
There's so many things that you never thought would be happening, and th're happening, and you're like, what's going on?
Why
here?
is this happening?
Yeah, the White House just you're Googling stories about the construction in the White House. I mean, can you tell me your thoughts on that? Because I see that, I'm like, the first thing you have to do when you see craziness going on right now is like, is this true? Is somebody
Yes.
fucking tricking me? And this story's not even real because it doesn't feel real. So then you
No.
have to go on a deep dive to find out if the article and the images that you're seeing are not AI. And it's
Yeah.
actually, that's how crazy, the AI is crazy, but also reality is perhaps crazier.
Well, at this point, this is super boring shit, but you can't just
No, it's
decide,
not. I want to hear your perspective about what's going on.
You can't just decide you're going to knock down a fucking historic building.
What
You can't just decide that.
and you the reason why I brought this topic up because you are an expert. You you get projects done. You get crazy intense projects done that nobody else can get done. They bring in the cleaner.
Yeah.
They bring in Matt, the Godfather of Booty, Reardon, and you come in and you fix these projects. So I wanted to ask you this specific question because when I see bulldozers breaking down a historic building,
this is real.
Yeah,
here's some pictures.
Tell me how this possibly could happen.
So
how did overnight it's done?
This is the White House.
Yes.
For real, I don't know who the contractor is. I don't know how they got the bid to do it.
It's Lockheed Martin.
It could be.
Good one, Lindsay.
But then here's a couple of suggestions. One, that's not the historic part of the White House.
Okay.
That might be the case. But, where are all the ne'er-do-well do-gooders that come to the rescue of aging schools that have been vacant for 35 years? Where are they in this mix going, hold on. Stop
Where's
this.
the Dune Dusters?
I'm going to file an injunction. You can't knock down that historic building.
How many projects have you been in when they're getting ready to tear down a building and some non-for-profit files an injunction to keep you? And they say, we're going to raise money and rebuild it.
Yeah, it happens on these historic buildings, like in downtowns or, old school buildings. They're like, hold on, you can't do that. We're going to raise money. We're going to fix it.
That section of the White House was built, I think, in 1940.
Yeah,
So
well,
it's
that's
the East Wing?
That's a historic
East Wing.
structure.
No, the 1940s was the West Wing.
Okay, so the thing they tore
I think
down
they're in
looks-
violation of the
Right here,
historic
this-
building code right now, but I don't think that's going to bother anybody in the White House.
No.
As far as grievances.
But did they have to get permits to do this? Did they have to get
you
permission
gotta get
to do all
permits.
this?
You can't do this. You can't do
like
anything in Washington D.C. John.
Can't the city of Washington D.C. come in and give them
Be
some
like,
code
hey, I'm
citations?
gonna red tag your project.
Yeah.
You didn't have the appropriate permits.
Well, it's already been destroyed, so it doesn't even matter at this point.
I think you'd go in there and red tag it right now. And be like, you got to stop. You don't have the right permits.
This is something that you're seeing now. There used to feel like there was some semblance of checks and balances in America.
Right.
I mean, do you
They're
feel
supposed to be?
Do you feel that there is anymore?
No, I think it's every man for himself.
Yeah.
In all respects.
Now, okay, so they're spending $250 million on this new section of the White House, and
That's a bargain.
yeah, it is. And then Kristi Noem just bought 2 planes for
That's pretty cool.
$100 million each. Is that correct?
Yeah, $100 million. Who are they buying these planes from? Oh, Lockheed Martin. Let's go, Lindsay.
Yeah, there you go.
You make a good point, Cantrell. Like I was writing the caption for the show today, and I just kept typing and typing. I'm like, is this all really happening? All
It's
these things we're
crazy.
going to talk about today. George Santos is free. We just
That's
talked
some
about
shit.
the demo of the White House for the ballroom. By the way, this is yesterday's tweet from Trump.
Can you read it in your great voice? for us,
Yeah,
Marcus?
do it. John.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best ballroom. So he says for 150, I won't read the whole thing, but he says for 150 years, every president has dreamt about having a ballroom at the White House to accommodate people for grand parties, state visits, etc. That sentence kind of, I don't know, it didn't hit the right way for me because no one can really afford anything right now, and he's talking about grand parties at the White House. But
Yeah, Illinois SNAP benefits are going to be frozen starting November 1st, right in time for Thanksgiving.
2 million people.
Wow.
Yep. That's
That's
children
cool.
who are going without a full Thanksgiving dinner. So
But okay, so if the government,
What is this zero cost to the taxpayers? I'm calling bullshit on that.
Apparently, it's all paid for by
Foreign money?
the tech bros and Cotter and who knows
was it probably like money?
Well,
saved
that's the
from
other thing.
Doge?
I would like to know who it is. I don't believe shit.
I agree.
I was
That would
like,
be nice to know.
wait. Whoa, who paid for this?
So he says in his tweet, it's being privately funded by many generous patriots,
Capitalized P.
great American
Capitalized
companies,
G.
and yours truly.
okay, so let me ask you this. You know how, like, let's say that your kids get good at sports and you got a bunch of acres,
Yeah.
and then you build a pole barn and, you have part of it for your storage, part of it for farming stuff, and then you have a gym at the end. Why can't they just build a separate building? Why did they
outlot
have?
building?
Why? Yeah, like an outlet. Because
I don't know. There's fucking buildings to have balls in all over Washington D.C.
It's
Pick
not like
one.
they
How about
haven't had a ball
how
before.
about one of the museums? I don't know. Hey, we're gonna have some shit over here. Cool.
and
The answer is because he fucking wanted to do it,
I mean,
and he just did it. And what's the GOP Congress doing? They're like, oh yeah.
Did you think
That's a shame.
Did you think like any president could come in and just say, you know what, I want the bedroom in the White House. We're gonna have a slide. We're gonna
have a
like
Sybaris.
we're gonna have a Sybaris in the White House, and and then they just be like, they get their friends.
The only question I'd have, John, would be like, for who? Not him.
John, are you staying at the Sybaris soon, or have you recently?
Maybe they're a new client. I don't know, but you're on it.
You're really pushing the Sybaris.
Kevin and Tom are staying for free at the
That's
French
generous.
Lick Sybaris. You know, and their tagline is, "If you're come to a place named French Lick, stay at the Sybaris."
Well, that's a good one.
I agree. Yeah, I mean,
that's
it makes sense to
clever.
me. It makes sense to me.
It's clever.
Yeah,
I think you
Straight
learn that
to
in
the
marketing
point.
school.
Yeah, but I will say, and I think I should, they have 2 separate rooms.
Well, that's nice.
So they each have a water slide that goes into the big pool.
I don't
Into
want
the
I don't
hot
want,
tub.
Kevin was describing it to me, but I don't want to get into a lot of specifics.
Well,
Reardon.
On the
we
ceiling.
got to get them on board.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to this.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get the permits, who authorized it, if they even bothered. It doesn't seem like you would bother anyway. Be like, what are they going to do? Who's going to stop me? What are they going to do? Seems to be the premise. So the answer is, I guess nobody, while they're demolishing a historic building, and to make a ballroom that I don't think anybody was fucking calling for.
No. But,
You know, I heard that a lot on the campaign trail. We need a ballroom because my balls are so big. I need a ballroom.
And we have to
No.
annex Canada and take Greenland.
When are we
None
going
of
to
this
do that?
stuff.
Where's that fucking Doge check?
Gulf
Yeah.
of America.
well,
It bought the planes.
if you think about the Doge savings, I think it's gone between the ballroom and 2 jets. 50% of it is gone, right? Vez Marcus, I think you're the county's policeman on government spending.
I was doing some math last night.
Okay.
There are some reports saying, so Elon wanted to save $2 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
Impossible. It's come out. It's about 1.4 billion, depending on what you read. And if
Off by a little.
$200 million jets for Kristi Noem would be 15% of that savings.
But I'm confused because we're reading constantly and hearing constantly about government shutdown and people not getting paid, and you're going to go to a national park. Is it going to be open? Things like that.
Going to be open, going to be closed. Is the mail going to come?
So how is all this spending occurring, Vesmar? Like I don't understand, because out of the right side of the mouth, nobody can't write checks, and then you see all this other spending. So how does that occur?
I have no clue, John.
Nobody knows.
Yeah,
I tell you how. They just do it. What are they going to do to stop it? That's it. If it goes to court, whatever, the judge,
Right.
then vilify the judge and the jury and the lawyer, and just it's the same operation Trump has had in his business career. That's the method. Let's just litigate. Let's sue, make them stop you, then negotiate a settlement. I won't ever have to pay what I was owed contractually, but go get it. And so he kind of cracked the code for politics. He doesn't care. He's got enough money now.
Sure.
Sell some Bitcoin. Now a billionaire.
Trump coin.
Trump coin. Yeah, Trump coin. And now he doesn't care. So unless the GOP, like the people that went to school and went to the military and like cared about public service and kind of carefully crafted their backgrounds to get elected and be elected.
Mm-hmm.
There's those people that are standing out there going, "Wow, I don't know what to do about this guy."
Sure. I'm not sure if I'm cool with this.
Well, and I guess they are. Their silence is compliance.
I talk to people and I just ask them how they feel. People who lean that way, and they're just like, he's just doing what he can get away with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Do
and
what
that's
you
the
can get away
president
with.
they wanted. So
Yeah, and so it leads into the topic of the No Kings protest.
Yeah. Did you guys go? Lindsay? John?
I wanted to, but I worked 312s this weekend. So
Okay.
My wife and myself and my kids were out there in Highland. We went to the Highland one.
And that was at, Ridge and 41, the old standby protest site?
Correct.
Yeah.
Where the flags are.
Where the flags are.
No, that was the 31st Saturday in a row. There was a guy going around who's leading it. His first name is Nick, I think. Pretty sure. And he was talking about how this is the 31st Saturday in a row they've been out there, rain or
I
shine.
love driving by those guys and honking, waving at them.
Yeah.
They all seem real nice people.
And this was definitely the largest protest there in Highland.
Yeah.
7 million people
In
across the
Not in
country.
Highland. Not in Wicker
John, there
Park.
was 7 million people in Highland.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
There was
Prove me wrong.
There might be counting a few people at the Walgreens across the street. Yeah, but
Well, the antique mall. We're going to add the antique mall.
we'll keep all those people.
Prove me wrong. There wasn't 7 million. Prove it. I say so. So 7 million people are cranky about the operations of one person.
a
Not
lot of
specifically to the operations of the GOP necessarily, more targeted at one person.
Sure.
So I've read a little bit about some of the paid Trump actors that, and those would be the people that work for him, that their point is, well, Jesus is our king, Trump is our president, I think America is our country, and I forget what the other line is. And it's like, okay, cool. So you shouldn't care that people are expressing their views about they don't like an autocratic decision-making president because there's a Congress that you're supposed to have to allocate funding.
Yes.
They're the purse strings. So how is it that a person can circumvent what we all know based on, third grade government class? There's 3 branches of government. President is the executive, the Congress is the fiduciary, and the judges are the legal side. Okay, so it sounds like you got everything covered, but when the executive doesn't care, and how are you spending money, and when would you get paid? That's the other question I have. How do you get paid? Where's the money come from?
Yeah, who's going to want to do
imagine if
business with them?
McDermott just said, fuck this, knock down some of that building at City Hall. Just imagine for a minute. Now, that's a historic building, is it not, John?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Built
Okay.
during the Great Depression, I believe.
Okay, cool. Fuck it. Knock that down
Knock it down.
and put a ballroom in.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Do it.
Yes.
Where money? I take it out of the pile. I don't care.
Can the ballroom have 2 floors with a slide?
Well, you're gonna they gotta integrate the pool in the basement.
There is a
Right.
pool of water in the basement.
So
That's
we got to beef that up a little, but I don't know if it's
Yeah, that's
intentional,
fine.
but
That's fine.
we'll fix it.
Yeah.
But how the fuck does that go down?
Well, how do you take that leap of faith that you're going to get paid to complete
I don't.
that work?
Well, the contractor. I guess you're working for Trump. You're used to this.
Well,
I'm like, okay, cool. Give me half up front.
oh, yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Okay,
Here,
so,
cover my material cost right now, and I'll do it.
yeah. So I know that everybody was trying to get the attention of other people, the government, Donald Trump, just the whole world to know that, there's people who are not happy with what's going on, people who are alarmed, people are going to take the time out of their Saturday to go over there and just have a demonstration.
Right.
And so, Ves Marcus, can you give us the White House's response when reporters were asking them what the White House's position was on the protest, the No Kings protest?
Yeah, I thought I saw this on Twitter yesterday. This is actually a reporter from our very own Indianapolis,
TV?
Indiana.
Yes.
And let me throw this up here. So this reporter emails the White House press office and says, "Hey, I'm from Indy. I'm a reporter. I'm covering the protests. Do you have any response?" And 2 words come back from the White House press office: "Who cares?"
Got it.
That's what 7 million people get.
Who
Yeah.
cares?
Who cares? And I'm assuming that response is because they just assume that those 7 million people are all Democrats that would never vote for a Republican anyway. But
Anywhere.
I don't
Like,
think
not
that's,
at all.
I don't think that's true, though.
I can tell you from my personal voting record that would not be true.
Really?
Depending on
Sure.
the election, sure.
You pick a candidate.
National, state, local. I pick all kinds of candidates,
Sure.
John. But what this current regime is really instilling in a lot of people like me is like, well, why would I give any GOP a chance if you're not fucking speaking up about this? Like,
Wait,
hey, man,
Reardon, what do you mean by like you?
like
Who
me,
who are you politically? Yeah.
I'm a fiscal conservative and a social moderate, right? I don't really give a shit what you do in your home, in your bedroom. Just stay out of my backyard and, keep the government running. Don't overspend, don't underspend, and keep the economy moving in a positive fashion. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. That's kind of where, if you go back, and I'm old enough where, there was a crazy ass president that took down the Soviet Union, that also believed in amnesty, that understood that tariffs are fucked up, and that's Ronald Reagan. So on one hand, you have, at any chance, GOP of today, like Ronald Reagan was the greatest, and he did. But you know what? That was a guy who was from California, understood the dynamics and the economics of immigration, legal and otherwise, the impacts on the economy, and how to make that work. So this was a guy that understood how to interact on a national stage, on an international stage. So you look at this body of work that this guy had, and that guy was half crazy when he was doing it. So where's that? Now you have this where this guy's like, can't fucking figure out what. Now, I don't even know what are we doing to China today? I don't know.
Yeah.
They're imposing tariffs on us because we put tariffs on them.
Oh, wow.
Back and forth.
That's crazy. So why would you think? I mean, this is just dumb. It's not even logical. All right, China's going to capitulate to us because they're our largest client. No, they're going to go buy stuff from other people.
Yes.
That's exactly what they did. They're like, okay, sure, you don't want our money? That's cool.
Yep.
We'll go do it somewhere else. Then Trump runs around the world trying to yell at people for selling China shit, and they're going, hey, man, I need money. I need to sell this shit. In the meantime, we have guys like this, our friend from New York, who's really pissed off about the No Kings rally. I mean, if I were that guy, I would have saved that animus for after the game where the Giant Nuts gave up 35 points with 5 minutes left.
Do you mind if we watch this?
So can you set it up, Vezzy?
Yeah, set it up, John.
Okay, I'll set it up. But Reardon brought this to our attention this morning before we went live.
I was like, my God.
This is a No Kings rally in Denver, and it gets crashed a little bit by a small group of older folk.
New York Giants fans.
Yeah, and they're New York Giants fans.
They're in enemy territory.
Yeah, and one of them in particular has a lot to say about this No Kings protest, and he ends up hurting himself a little bit, unfortunately, but we're going to play this now.
Ride your bike, you
He just trips over his own feet.
So those listening, yes, exactly. He starts running after some No Kings protesters and just totally bites it.
And so 25-year-old dude from New York in that guy's brain is like, I'm going to catch this punk and beat his ass. 60-year-old dude in actuality gets tripped up by the street.
That guy hasn't ran since the Reagan administration. I don't know why he decided
he's trying to haul ass down the street. I'm going to catch a 25-year-old kid out protesting.
Yeah, so and he continued. Now, because he's really pissed, he really scraped up his face. Yeah. But this is my favorite part.
Tailgate must have been crazy.
This is classic.
This is a young gentleman in a Bernie Sanders shirt who is trying to reason with him. He said, I'm here for you.
I'm here for you. Sorry, you need to go.
He's going to yeet you.
He's going to try and help him out.
Yeah.
He's like, this guy's super pissed.
So
now imagine the rest of that guy's day.
So the Bernie
dude, you're going to the hospital.
Well, yeah.
I don't think so.
In the medical field with that, he had a fall that's going to be on his record forever. They're going to slap a wristband on him, and he can't pee by himself for the rest of his stay.
There you go.
So the guy with the Bernie Sanders T-shirt's a head taller than this guy.
Yeah.
But you know what I think the funny part when I see this is this guy's telling everybody how he hurt his face, and he's telling stories at work to his family what happened, and then the video comes out. Yeah. So everybody,
you can't imagine. I beat this kid's ass. Oh yeah. We were in now imagine the rest of this guy's day because he hasn't been to the football game yet. So he's gonna have to sit.
This is before that.
At Mile High Stadium.
Yeah.
After he's all I could only assume inebriated on his way to the game.
So on the video, he slides about 3. This guy slides about 3 feet on the road on his face.
He's got road rash down his nose.
That had to hurt.
Bad.
Yeah.
I do feel
Well,
bad.
it's so bad that they had to blur out his face because of the blood and
Damaging.
gore.
I can relate to this. I was about maybe 5, and I made one of the greatest backyard football catches ever. One hand, and then I end up hitting my face on the side of the garage. I hold down to the ball.
You
and
held on.
I held on, but I slid all the way down the side of the garage with my face, and I had a scab.
Yeah,
on.
you did.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Well,
anyway,
if you're his friend, would you load him up into the ambulance and send him by himself, or
No.
would you go with him?
You need
gotta
some Neosporin and just go to the game.
yeah, you gotta just clean
you think
that
he
off.
toughed it out?
I
Got
think he
gravel
did.
in his face forever.
Forever? Oh yeah.
That probably hurt
They'll have
a
to
lot.
surgically
Had to
remove
hurt.
it.
He was probably so angry it didn't hurt at the moment, but about the second quarter,
He'll just
it started
drink it
hurting. And then certainly at the end of the game when the Giants lost,
Yeah.
it really was hurting.
Man, I hope he didn't have any blood thinners in the system.
Speaking
Oh my
of
God.
people with shit on their face, how about George Santos getting his sentence commuted, huh?
Yeah, what do you guys think of that?
All right, how do you get a get out of jail free card? What does that mean, John?
Okay, so he did not get a pardon from Trump. He got his sentence commuted, okay?
What's the difference?
So
I'm an idiot.
Let's say that you get 27 months in prison, okay? And then you're sitting there for 6 months, and then the president gives you like a smooch on the cheek and says, you're still convicted. You still have this on your record, but you don't have to finish up your sentence. You get out of jail. Here you go. Congratulations.
What happens with any other repercussions? Like you have a jury trial, they're like, dude, you go to jail for X amount, you owe this amount. What happens with the rest of the shit?
Okay, so classically speaking, and let's say that he would have served his full sentence and he didn't get his sentence commuted
Right.
by the president, he would finish the sentence, and once he gets out, he would have anywhere between 2 to 3 years of what they call supervised release. So
Okay.
he has to start paying this money back that he owes. In his particular case, he owed in restitution $374,000. $374,000.
Where did he do? What was the? I never saw exactly where or who he scammed that money from. Like a cast of thousands or what?
A lot of different people, a lot of his donors, and one of the if you sent him money,
Right.
He was purported to have used credit cards and used people's credit card information, and then made up donations for people and credit cards and
Yeah.
So credit card fraud.
Yeah, this is exact. So this is from the DOJ. So he was charged with embezzled funds from campaign donors, stole identities, charged credit cards without authorization, obtained unemployment benefits through fraud, and lied in reports to the U.S. House of Representatives. And this is a former congressman from New York, and he was charged, I believe, with like 7 years, or sentenced to 7 years in prison.
87 months, yeah.
And 7 months in, Trump just kind of actually surprisingly, I don't think anyone was expecting this, just tweeted, "You're commuted. Have a good life." You know.
So wait, what?
Some
wait,
wild stuff.
Wait,
to just
let's
be
go.
like,
Wait. So he was convicted of welfare fraud, right?
No.
I guess
No.
so.
No.
Unemployment benefits through fraud.
Okay,
Yeah.
so wait, so isn't that what the MAGA people keep talking about? Like nonstop, around the clock, Medicare fraud, welfare fraud, all kind of fraud, people not working, people not from here. But Jorge here gets a pass because he was on the GOP team. Come on, let's be consistent.
So I read some of Trump's comments that he had said about why this happened. He said George was getting picked on in a correctional facility he was at, so he felt bad for him, so he let him out.
Cantrell.
Yes.
Question.
Does that work in trial, John?
No.
In the real world?
You're forbidden to in a trial, in a criminal case, you're forbidden to talk about wrongful convictions, people being incarcerated wrongfully. You can't even talk about that. But we don't live in a vacuum. Everybody knows, and if you're picking a jury, you pick people who know that there's been people wrongfully convicted, and
Sure.
they need to follow the system and protect people and protect the innocent, because we're all presumed innocent. Go ahead, Bess.
Right.
How do you feel about the sentencing, 87 months?
Well, I mean, it's all based on it's a chart. So you take somebody's criminal history. You have no criminal history, or you have a really bad criminal history, and they're looking at, if this is a fraud case, previous fraud cases. If this is a robbery case, looking at previous robbery cases. So you're looking at your criminal history in its entirety, and then you're looking at, well, do you keep coming back for the same stuff? And so he got launched because, he was taking money from vulnerable victims. He took a lot of money. If you embezzle from your boss and you embezzle $8,000, or if you embezzle $800,000, those are two drastically different sentences. Sure. Yes, and that's the difference.
And when asked if he was going to repay the $374,000 on a recent interview, he said, I've been out of prison for 2 days. I agreed to come here and speak with you. If it's required of me by law, then yes. If not, then no.
Absolutely.
Was that commuted too? The
No.
$374,000.
I think it was. If you check into that, now he got the magic wand and said, "You don't have to pay that back."
Well, it's just like if let's say Reardon, if you sue somebody and you get a judgment for $76,000, you still have to go collect it, and that's essentially. Normally he would be on 2 years of supervised release, parole, probation, however you want to view it. It's really related to both of those things, just by a different name. So they would be collecting it, and they still, after he's off supervised release, he's not going to pay. Most people are not going to pay $374 just getting out of prison. They're not going to go get a job. Yeah, you're not going to get a magical job. You're going to be a sandwich artist.
Right.
So he's going to have a hard time paying that back. So that money is owed. It's like a judgment, and they're going to get his tax returns.
So how does
and
this?
everything.
All right. Speaking of money owed, what, like in the context of Alex Jones, like what is that fucking guy owes? I don't know, billions of dollars, and yet he's still on TV and radio and doing shit. How does that go on? Like. That just showed up before the Supreme Court, and they went, "No, dude, you owe the money. Yeah. You got it. You got to pay
owe trillions of dollars.
You need to pay him something."
It's like the biggest judgment ever. It's huge.
So if you think about like how is he still operating? He's giving himself a salary. He used to make $4 million a year from his corporation. Now he makes $75,000, and then he's driving a car that is owned by this corporation. He has credit cards and expense accounts that he's taking out clients and feeding himself and things like that. So he is
sounds like tax cheating, what you just mentioned.
He's shielding his
income
from his creditors.
So that's not uncommon, I'm going to say. But usually people aren't scamming, or usually people aren't saying to bereaved parents that everything that happened to their kids was a hoax.
Sure. Well, and also keep this in mind. He is not going away without a lot of scrutiny, because there are lawyers who are keeping a third of the judgment against them. So I assure you, they have a vested interest in clawing money from them. So at some point, they're going to do. If you get a judgment against somebody, you bring them back in for a proceeding supplemental. You're trying to collect it. You're asking them if they own any houses. Do they have safety deposit boxes? How much is he making? And then they're going to want to
give me what? Give me half. Give me a third.
Give me your corporate finances. We want to look at it with a fine-tooth comb because we want our money.
Ridiculous.
John, you have to leave soon.
Yes.
Before you go, I want to talk about another thing in the news.
Yes, please.
I think it'd be important for you to be here for this.
Okay.
The U.S. Supreme Court is going to decide if drug users, including pot users, can legally carry guns. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on with this?
Well, I mean, we all are somewhat familiar with this particular issue because Hunter Biden went through a trial, and really Hunter Biden's trial was whether or not he was addicted to drugs, because there's a law on the books that says that drug users and abusers who are consistently and addicted to drugs cannot carry firearms. So this is a question about the Second Amendment. People, specifically all the different gun organizations, all of the right, all these different people. The NRA is the biggest with the most money. I like the NRA is probably one of the most powerful organizations in America, because all these laws where we're trying to outlaw machine guns and get rid of assault rifles, they're still on the books because of the NRA.
Best marketing organization in the history of marketing.
Yes.
They attach themselves to the Second Amendment, and they keep selling shit based on the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Imagine if the booze industry attached itself to the 21st Amendment and said, "Hey, everybody should be drinking."
Yeah, 21st Amendment repealing prohibition.
Yeah. Imagine if they did that.
Maybe we can do that.
I don't know.
I quit drinking in 04, but let's
Somebody's
give it
got
a
to
shot.
call Byway Brewing right now.
Well, somebody, Anheuser-Busch, did you hear that?
I mean,
Anyway.
Yeah, so it's really particular because if you're going to say that people who use drugs can't carry guns, marijuana.
What kind of drugs?
Right. What's a drug? I don't think marijuana is a drug. It's from the earth. It's not a drug. Nancy Reagan messed this up for all of us, to be honest with you.
She really
Yeah, she really did. If you tell people drugs are bad, they burn your brain. Okay, heroin, yes.
That's
cocaine,
pretty bad.
yes. Crack, yes. Meth, yes.
Yeah.
But, then somebody goes and tries weed, and then cereal tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Cartoons are funny.
Crushing pizzas.
And then you think
by the box.
all the other drugs aren't bad because they put everything together. That's the problem. You tricked everybody, and everybody tried weed, and they're like, "This isn't so bad," and then they try other things.
What about the other stuff?
Yeah,
Bad.
yes, because they thought everything was a lie, and half of it was the weed half. So what we're going to do is it's a really impractical law because somebody gets caught with a gun, and the cops are saying, "You're a drug addict," and then you're going to have a week-long trial about somebody's weed use. And
how do you prove? All right, first of all, how do you prove you're an addict? Maybe this is a question for Lindsay.
Well, so first off, this isn't based on previous convictions. It's just hearsay from whoever.
It's based
did the
on
arresting.
being honest.
Well, and that's what,
that's what isn't that
People
what
are
Hunter
gonna
Biden did?
incriminate
He checked the
themselves.
box and said, "Yeah, I'm a junkie, but I'm going to buy a gun."
Yeah. So people, let's say that you got somebody's rehab records and they talk about their drug use, or let's say that you are a police officer and you're trying to prove it. If you go get somebody's social media, a lot of people like to show themselves roasting
Smoking
a bone.
weed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. And so that's the big problem here. You're going to criminalize people who use weed occasionally, and you're going to say that they can't carry a gun, and it's going to become a crime for them to carry a gun because they occasionally smoke weed.
So
how do you juxtapose that to booze?
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
Right.
Well, why
which
not?
Is,
Whoa. But why
which
not?
is what the DOJ is arguing, Matt. So they're saying this appeals court, so a lower court ruled that unless a gun wielder is high, past drug use alone is not disqualifying under the Second Amendment. The DOJ says they got that wrong because laws existed at a time when the country was founded that restricted the rights of habitual drinkers even when they were sober.
Well, they have not been enforcing that. I'm just going to say.
Right. So if you drink, you can own a
With
gun.
guns
Right.
would lose their guns
Again.
if that were true.
So I think they're going to – what do you think they're going to do, John? They're going to probably toss that out.
I think so because I think it complicates so many potential cases because how are you going to prove it? And you're gonna flood the court system with week-long trials and pouring through people's social media about whether or not they are consistently used drugs.
I don't think the gun people are going to stand for this.
No.
They're going to go, hey, knock it off. Well, then what happens, like, say, you're convicted, you're Hunter Biden, and you were convicted of this. Do you have any recourse after they change the law, or you just shit out of luck?
Yes. No. You so like when
That reason alone, they won't change it. They will. That will be the sole reason. It'd be like, hey. If we change this, then Hunter Biden's going to come back in here and say, whoa, you changed the law and caused all this shit and spent all this money. Why did you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
When you ultimately decided it wasn't a crime.
That's a fantastic point. So maybe there'll be some hesitation because no one wants.
Of course they will.
Nobody wants to hook up a Biden.
No. They're going to be like, hey, did you guys just let Hunter Biden off the hook? We did.
Yeah.
They're never going to do that.
No.
So
Agreed.
they'll toss it out.
Agreed.
Let's read some ads.
I got to roll, guys.
All right.
All right.
Cantrell's
Thank
got
you,
to go.
JC.
Thank
See you, brother.
Thanks.
Good luck.
All right. Peace.
Good luck in your trials.
Lindsay, are you going to leave Matt alone up there?
I'm just going to
I
come over here,
won't.
Lindsay.
I'll go join him. I'm going to warn everybody I was not dressed to be on camera today.
Lindsay was hoodwinked. I'm just going to say it. She was coming from work. She's a hardworking nurse.
I think you look great.
Did you know, Lindsay, that
What's the hoodie?
3 of
So
my
token.
sisters are nurses? Were nurses? 3 of
Yeah?
them. Yes.
That's awesome.
Mary, Teresa,
I
and
think-
Maureen.
I'm pretty sure I'm the first person in our family, the McDermott family, to be in the medical field.
That's
Whoa.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of cool, let's get into the season 16, episode 14. John, can you do something about this made-up season numbers and fucking episode numbers?
It's pretty weird. It's arbitrary.
I mean, season 16, episode 14, October 21, 2025. Powering Indiana, Lake County Studios. Ad break first. Do you see how I read that top part? Because I'm an idiot.
That's the part you're supposed to keep quiet.
I know. It's like Anchorman.
Ads.
Read. Powering Indiana, premier studio sponsor. Lake County is your source for region's most trusted electricians at Powering Indiana, Lake County. Powering. We set the standard for excellence in electrical work. As IBEW Local 697 electrical contractors, we ensure safety, reliability, quality for Northwest Indiana corporations, business, and homes alike. But our mission goes beyond the job site. We're creating a brighter future for the region we serve. Powering Indiana, Lake County, bringing excellence to the job, creating a brighter future for our community. Find the right electrical contractor at poweringindiana.org.
All right. Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with spacious tap rooms and an outdoor patio, serving its award-winning craft beer and a chef-driven food menu, as well as craft cocktails on draft. Their brewing equipment and production facility offers a unique backdrop for events like bridal showers, reunions, or corporate parties. With their new food truck, they can cater to your corporate and private events off-site. It's just off the 8094 Kennedy Avenue South exit. Discover more at bywaybrewing.beer.
Ku Klux Law. Hey, John, let me just say this.
Yeah.
You know, if we're not from the region, there's no chance you're going to be able to pronounce this name.
Good point. Yeah.
I mean, you're just not. You're not even going to be like, I can't do that. But since we're a big melting pot around here,
Yeah.
You know
we
how
can
to
rip
do it.
off
We
things
know all
like
the
Ku
ski
Klux
names.
Law.
We got,
Absolutely, man.
all the Hispanic names.
Exactly. Ku Klux Law. Are you facing legal challenges and don't know where to turn? Look no further than Ku Klux Law, your trusted source in legal advice in Indiana and Illinois. Do you need representation buying or selling real estate? Call Ku Klux Law. Do you need help forming your business? Call Ku Klux Law. Did you get injured in a car crash or at your job? Call Ku Klux Law. No matter what your legal case is, call 219-671-6347 for a free consultation. Who are you going to call? Ku Klux Law. Hablamos Espanol.
All right, the branding room floor. Don't let your business get lost in the shuffle of generic branding and aimless marketing. Trust Northwest Indiana's award-winning full-service marketing agency, the Branding Room Floor. Providing data-driven results to help your business grow in a crowded market is their specialty. From website development and digital advertising to graphic design and branding, the Branding Room Floor will set your business or organization on a clear path to strategic success. Don't wait another day to get started and visit thebrandingroomfloor.com today.
Cantrell and Cantrell. You heard John here earlier today.
Yeah, you know who he is.
You know who he is. He's off to trial. The guy and his wife, Kristen, are always working hard. Cantrell and Cantrell, attorneys at law. Are you injured or in trouble with the law? Give Cantrell and Cantrell a call and schedule your consultation with someone who is in court and at the jail every day. Not in jail, but at the jail every day.
Visiting.
Right. Call John Cantrell at 219-554-4LAW or visit their website at bettercallcantrell.com. John and his wife, Kristen, make a great team and are waiting to hear from you. Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about how somebody spent $200 million buying jets.
You are
we have
all
a government
business
shutdown
today. You are ready to get into it, man.
Dude, it's fucking mind-boggling
literally
to
this
me.
Week, the last week, it's just been Trump spending money on lavish projects, buying things for people, and there are literally people in the country starving because their benefits are being halted soon.
You
just
mentioned
in
this,
time
Lindsay,
for the holidays, and
and
it's frustrating to me.
I googled this. So what's going on here? Is this just Illinois, Lindsay, or is this?
I'm not sure. I'm sure that this is probably going to be a national issue at some point because these are government funded.
SNAP.
Benefits, yeah.
So that's like
people,
food,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Okay,
EBT,
wait. Let's
things
break.
like that.
Before we go off that, John, I want to break that down.
Yeah.
So where do we buy food from? We buy from farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Farmers, people eat stuff, right? So people go in and they buy all kinds of things with their government assistance. So part of the GOP message is stop buying fucking sodas and chips and shit and buy others food, buy vegetables, buy meats, well, guess where all those come from? Farmers.
The farmers that are being
So when we
screwed over,
cut, this is the logic. This is what hurts me so much about this administration. It hurts my mind.
As
it's
a fiscal conservative,
it's like,
socially moderate.
bro,
Okay.
listen. When you do this, the reaction is this. So when you say, we're not going to do that anymore, so then there's less demand for food products and less money goes to farmers, right?
Exactly.
So when I do tariffs and I piss off my customers,
It's just
like if I
further-
pissed off my customers, be like, fuck off, I don't like you anymore. They'd be like, well, Matt, I'm probably going to use somebody else. They'd be like, how dare you use somebody else? Now I'm really going to talk bad about you. That's not going to solve the situation.
I feel like when it comes to this administration, there's a lot of people in this administration who see point A, they see point B, and because the process between them is so complicated, they're like, I don't need to mess with all of that.
It's just
somebody
dumb.
else's project.
It's just
problem.
dumb. So now I'm like, well, the government shut down, and then word gets out that Kristi Noem decides
Needs a
that
plane.
she needs a couple of fancy jets.
She needs 2 planes.
Not one, but 2.
She needs
Because
2
you know what?
planes.
If we know anything about the government, if one's good, 2's better. Spend the money. In the meantime, there's I don't know how many people across the United States that have had challenges related to the general cost of products. Going back to the logic of this, I have tariffs, prices go up. That's what's going to happen. I've heard the argument that we're going to bring back American jobs. No, you're not. That fucking ship sailed 25 years ago. Not going to happen. And furthermore, the more manufacturing processes we get, the more they're going to be related to robots building the products, removing those
jobs.
the need for strong back jobs to big brain jobs.
Yep.
So everybody who's cracked a book open knows this, but they continue with this bullshit. It's like we're gonna repatriate all these jobs to the United States. No, man, you're never gonna convince a shareholder that it's better to pay somebody $50 an hour when you could pay somebody $15 an hour in a different country. That ship sailed. But nonetheless, we closed the government down. But Kristi Noem goes out and buys 2 jets.
I don't understand where all this money's coming from if the government shut down.
Yeah.
I know we touched on that earlier, but I'm still kind of at a loss.
And I had to, going back to what John said at the beginning of the show, like you're never sure if a story's true now. So I had to go and like look
Did you
this
do
up a
a
little
deep
bit.
dive?
Well, that's
This is
John's
true.
job. When
Yeah.
we're sitting here and we're saying stuff, he's Googling everything we say just to verify that it's true or not.
Yeah, and if
I
it's
don't know.
not,
I-
I'll just troll
He's
everyone.
our fact
you know.
checker.
But this is true. So, the Coast Guard bought these, and
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
for Noem's department, and apparently these 2 jets are supposed to replace one older jet. That's the response they got.
Wait, so the Coast
What?
Guard is buying this, but aren't they freezing the Coast Guard's payment? People who are actively deployed?
So apparently these $200 million jets were in the budget from earlier this year.
I see.
Oh,
that's
but
the-
paying their active service people.
That
that's
too
not
was
in
in the budget. Well,
Oh.
sure it was. How could it not be?
We can't allocate or anything, though, to support their families.
No, we can't do that. But
No.
capital spending is good.
You
But
know.
this is Lindsay. You made the perfect point, which is what bothers me when I read stuff like this. Is the optics look terrible? Number one,
They don't care about that, though. We know the way they're
but
talking to the press.
how could they not when the midterms are a year away?
They're not forward thinkers. They don't look
No.
to the future. It's here and now, which admittedly
It's a fight that
that's-
they're going to have to work out later. So let's say the election happens in November. Statistically and historically points to whatever party's in office loses control of one or both houses.
Yeah.
Right. So assume that'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Which,
what?
to be honest, we just talked about 7 million people at a No Kings protest, and I think partly that's because half the country feels like they have no representation right now because no branches of government are Democrat.
I don't
Right.
feel represented. That's for
Yeah.
damn sure.
Well, they're just not doing their job. I don't mind so much whatever party, but do your damn job. I mean,
Yeah.
Congress is the fiduciary. So, we're going to, I mean, all of the subterfuge out there about we passed, this is a clean bill. Look, dude, this is what it is. It is circumventing the process by offering a budget solution. That's what this fucking thing is. That's all it is. So it's a clean look. No. Well, you guys want to pass a budget bill? I bring it to Congress. Okay. So both parties have figured out, let's circumvent this shit. So for all the MAGA
By just
people,
continuing it.
Yeah,
is what
just
you're saying.
just like fucking. We're gonna do it this way. Well,
Yeah.
then change the law to allow it to happen that way.
Well, here's the frustrating thing too: is that we're not passing the budget because they can't agree on anything. I don't want to pass the budget even more now because this is the shit you want to pay for.
What are you spending it on? Now
This is
I'm
what
paying
you wanna
attention.
spend it- No, the
Ballrooms and fucking jets.
Well, the
What's going on here?
The big argument for not passing the budget that the Democrats are kind of standing by is because it's going to raise a lot of premiums for a lot of insurances, including the ACA, which is
Right.
insuring a ton of people, and it's going to shoot their premiums. As somebody who used to be on the ACA, I already had a high premium. It's
Yeah.
going to shoot things up from 500 to roughly around 2,000 as an example.
Damn.
That is a significant jump.
I saw that.
Just because they're concerned about, people misusing the medical field. People need care, okay, first and foremost. Secondly, when it comes to the misuse that they're talking about, it's illegal aliens getting help. Illegal aliens don't end up on my unit because they don't have insurance. They are only covered in emergency situations. And then, you got this thing going on where they're buying,
Jets
$50
and
million
ballrooms. Jets and
200
ballrooms.
million. Yeah.
It sounds like that bill is probably full of a bunch of bullshit. It's going to buy a bunch of grand, lavish, expensive things for people that they like. And the rest of us are going to be hung out to dry. And it's going to result in deaths. It's going to result in hospital closures. It's going to result in people starving for the holidays. And
So, Lindsay,
just
explain
really
to me what
frustrating.
happens when somebody goes to the hospitals, whether they have insurance or not.
okay.
Yeah, this is
They're-
Lindsay's
this
medical
is-
minute.
This is actually,
like
yeah,
sick
this is
people.
what I'm used to. Yeah.
Somebody shows up at the emergency room.
Okay, so
What happens?
if an emergency happens, let's say you're in a car accident, you're unconscious, your leg is bleeding out, you have a major bleed or brain damage or whatever, you've been injured, they're going to put you in an ambulance, they're going to take you to the emergency room. They don't
Whether
know
you have
your-
emergency or not, or insurance or not.
Exactly.
Okay.
They don't know your name. They don't know anything about you. They don't have a medical history. They don't know what meds you're on. They don't know what your
They don't
insurance
know your
is.
citizenship
They are
status.
obligated to treat you because you are a person and you deserve to be saved.
You're a
Okay,
person.
and
Yeah.
guess who signed that law, John? Our favorite Republican,
Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You are obligated. We take the Hippocratic Oath. Nurses, that we take a slightly different oath, but it's still we adhere to that. Doctors do the same thing. They take a Hippocratic Oath that if somebody is suffering and in need of medical care, that you will do good regardless who they are, their insurance, what color their skin is, their
sounds
religion.
like what the GOP wants to do is remove that law
Interesting.
and change it to say you can't treat anybody until you certify citizenship first.
Okay, but
That sounds
also-
like what they're trying to change
But-
into.
Okay, but here's the big issue, though. Okay, so when you're an illegal immigrant, now I'm not saying that somebody who is like on a work visa, they work for somebody, they have insurance coverage.
They may or may not.
But if they're here illegally, you can't. They don't have insurance. You don't
you can't
qualify
sign up for it.
ACA.
You don't
can't
get free
sign up
shit.
for it. Yeah,
I
you
say it
can't.
all the time on Facebook.
So when
You don't get free shit. Sorry.
So when you're an illegal immigrant, you don't have insurance. Even if you are a person within this country with no insurance, you show up to the emergency room. You're having an emergency. They are obligated to treat you. Okay, that
Okay.
is a requirement by law.
Sounds pretty like the right thing to do.
But when it comes to if you need further care or support, let's say you need dialysis because you're in an emergency and your kidneys have failed, you have no insurance.
Yeah.
You can be admitted, but you are paying out of pocket.
Right. So do you go into you're into the Alex Jones, you owe the money phase.
Yeah.
Let him collect it.
But most
So to
people,
use as a
yeah.
comparison, Alex Jones, who owes people billions of dollars for lying
Billions.
about their kids
Sandy
getting
Hook.
shot, right? Owes money, and then somebody who has to get dialysis. So
Yeah.
I guess to just come to the point is, it seems the Republicans are trying to change Ronald Reagan's law with regard to treating people that show up at an emergency room, which I would suggest that they bring a bill into Congress and fucking do it then.
And there is a section of, I believe it's Medicaid specifically, that is allocated to support people who are uninsured showing up in emergency situations.
So the government covers
So
the cost for
hospitals
the
get
hospitals.
paid.
So
Yes.
the government covers the cost for anybody, not just people here legally. There's people without insurance.
There are people who are citizens born in this country who don't have insurance.
There's a shit ton of people.
And
That's why
that's what they're
ACA was.
fighting.
That's where that came from.
So they're trying to screw over people who are citizens without insurance.
But how? You know what? This is the other thing that's not logical, John. The whole Affordable Care Act is just about the most Republican idea that I've heard of, which says this: I don't care who you are, I don't care how much you make, you will pay some money to have insurance. You will pick yourselves up by your bootstraps, and you will write a check so you have insurance. Is there anything more Republican than that?
But also, when it comes to the ACA, some of the deductibles are so high, it doesn't really matter in the first place.
Right. But we're making people, this, like I said, this is an idea that came from my man Mitt Romney in Massachusetts way back in the day.
You're a Mitt
people,
fan?
I'm a Mitt fan.
You love Mitt?
I have been.
Okay.
I've been a Mitt fan since he ran for president. I voted for Mitt. I love him.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a fiscal conservative, social moderate. He's like, you know what? But that is a very Republican idea. Everybody has to pay something.
Yeah.
The current administration back in 2016 latches onto this, says they're going to fix health care in 2 weeks. We all know that's fucking nonsense. But there's a bunch of people.
It's going to take much longer than 2 weeks to do that.
And end all wars. And, the only thing he did in 2 fucking weeks was prepare to build a fucking ballroom and buy 2 jets.
Yeah.
That's all that happened.
And
in 2
Golf
weeks.
of America.
But
Oh,
also,
the Gulf
Don't forget
of
about
America.
that.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
That was day
I
one.
would also like to point out that I've been reading some articles about it because I'm in the medical field and it comes across my timeline on Instagram and whatnot. And when it comes to like covering the care for people who are uninsured, it's not even illegal immigrants, just uninsured people in that Medicaid. It counts for like 2% of the whole
It's not
Medicaid.
okay.
budget.
So what you're saying, Lindsay, it's not a preponderance of the dollar amount. It's a de minimis amount of a total budget.
Yeah.
Well, but you know how
But
but politicians trade on the imagery and the fringes of this, right? Because they're all friendly with, people with money and donors and all that. All comes to pass and like, hey man, you can't really. We're getting money from the feds. We want to keep getting that money. But the bottom line is this: you have it's a problem. The government shut down. The other thing, John, that drives me a little bit crazy about these current batch of Trump supporters, MAGA people, is that they lead with "I love Jesus." These are the same people telling, I don't care if you're not from the country, go fuck off. I'm not going to feed you, and I'm not going to give you medical care.
No, John, I think you could probably Google this.
But I don't think John's not down for that. You're not that kind of guy.
Well, no, but like when it comes to specifically, I was raised Catholic. When it comes to the Bible, okay, Jesus said, "When you came to me sick, you healed me. When I came to you hungry, you gave me food. When I came to you naked, you gave me clothes." These are not things that these people are embodying.
Beatitudes?
But
or
also,
these corporal works of mercy? Can't remember. I'm a Catholic boy.
And when it comes to, it's the empathy. And also, a lot of these changes, I don't think people do their due diligence and research. Of course they don't. But it's going to impact both Democrats and Republicans. You know who's uninsured? People who are struggling, people who are in between jobs, people who were just laid off from the FFA, people who were, currently laid off from other government jobs. There are people who are farmers, people who are in the rural areas who have like a hospital 3 hours away. That's the closest one.
If they still have one.
Those hospitals are going to close.
If they still have one.
If they still have
John,
one,
you see, my point is that it's just not logical. You keep
no
creating
sense.
these things, and there's no logical terminus to it. You're like, we just cut the budget for all these rural. That has an impact in the big, beautiful bill. It's interesting to watch the representatives from the state of Indiana tap dance around that. It's like, bro, you're talking about this bill that Trump got passed through Congress, which circumvented the filibuster. Meaning this, people, listen to me. They said we're only going to need 51 votes. This is too fucking important. Let's do it. Conversely, we have the continuing resolution, which if the fucking GOP wanted to do it that way, they could do it. So ask yourself, why aren't they? Why isn't this as important as Trump's bill?
Interesting.
To them. Why isn't it? Just do it. Stand up for what you believe in, but just stand up. Quit trying to hide behind policy and castigation and to the other party. Just fucking do it. If you're sick of it, then make it happen. And it's just frustrating.
Because I think Reardon, another part of this shutdown is all these politicians are grifting off of it. They're all fundraising off of it.
Oh gosh.
The money that's made in everyone arguing with each other is big. But let's do the second set of ads.
Let's do ads, and then we got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it up. We're going to do one more quick story after that.
Okay. Pressmer Insurance Agency.
You're just saying you can pronounce all the last.
Pressmer. I know Ron for a long time. Pressmer, for decades, the Ron J. Pressmer Insurance Agency has been located right on Indianapolis Boulevard, serving all of your insurance needs. The Pressmer Agency specializes in a wide range of insurance products and services, including auto, home, business, life, and much more. The Pressmer Agency serves thousands of people and businesses throughout Chicagoland and the Midwest. Call Ron or Ronnie today at 219-844-0103. They're here to protect what matters to you most.
Calumet Brewing. It's not about the miles you ran, the perfect score, or even the final victory. It's about the joy in the journey, the high fives after a friendly game, the feeling of accomplishment, the shared laughter. That's the moment worth toasting. With only 95 calories and 2.6 carbs, Michelob Ultra is the refreshing, crisp reward that makes the moment better. Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Head over to the Cal Brew or Michelob Ultra websites and social media pages for more info on this great family of beers and enjoy the Michelob Ultra lifestyle with beers and cheers responsibly.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard in Mexican cuisine across the Midwest. Look for tortillas. Look for Tortillas Nuevo
Melting
Leon.
pot.
This is really embarrassing for me too. Tortillas Nuevo Leon, popular red and white label at your grocery store, and enjoy quality Mexican
let's just roll
products.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con
I'm a big
amor.
fan of the song.
Para ti, tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor. Para ti, tu familia de todo corazón.
Misprint Printing. Elevate your brand with Misprint, the premier printing and sign solution in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. With 30-year legacy of excellence, their experienced team led by Rick Baltzenberger combines innovation and technology to deliver top-quality signs and printing, always on time and within budget. Conveniently located in Munster and Hammond, Misprint is your partner for creating impactful visual solutions that leave a lasting impression. Visit them at misprintusa.com to bring your vision to life today.
And
Thanks.
Yeah.
perfect. Last but not least, MCR Partners
Do we have
Whoa.
to rate this?
is your one-stop destination for top-notch, I say top-notch, expertise in economic development, finance, and planning. With dedicated team geared up to tackle your projects head-on, they're your go-to comprehensive solution providers. Dive into the world of economic development. Give me a call at 219-741-9511 or head on to my website at mcrpartnersllc.com.
Incredible. The man himself reading
It's
his
kind
own
of funny
ad.
reading your own shit.
Wow.
Speaking of shit,
Yeah, this is wild, huh? So the one last quick story for everyone.
just hang on, people. The level of buffoonery with this fucking next story is shocking.
And this makes me like Gavin Newsom just a little bit more.
Really?
Too.
So I wanted your guys' feedback on this because I wanted to know after we go through what
This
happened.
guy's got to be psychic or
Is
something.
this just more? Is this just more stuff to create? Put everyone on their own sides more, or is there's some legitimacy to this story?
What do you mean legitimacy? I saw the debris.
Okay. No, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but
Oh.
are we making a story out of? Is it really that big of a deal? But let's
Well,
talk about it.
Okay, so yeah, we'll talk about it. You want to?
So here's the quick nutshell version of this. So
Bombshell version.
So the Marines, I wish Tom was here. He would love this story, right? So the Marines decided to celebrate their 250th anniversary.
He would be busting chops,
Yeah.
by
blowing some
blowing
shit up.
stuff up, essentially.
Yeah.
And they decided to do it near a very, like a major artery, like a California highway,
I-5.
without shutting it down.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, you could probably guess what happened. A shell exploded prematurely over
but
the highway.
Before this demonstration occurred, so they weren't going to shut down I-5.
Correct. Right.
Governor Newsom, at recommendation from the California State Police, decided to shut down a major artery, literally isolating an entire town. That's their main to and from.
So, like around
the
here,
day.
Lindsay, what road would it look like? Would it be like 20? Would it be like Indy Boulevard? What is the level of traffic?
Well, okay,
It's certainly not 94.
Well, so it's an interstate, right? So we're talking like
65.
80, 94, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 65, I think, would
65 is
be
a
probably
good example.
one.
I
Yeah.
don't think it's that major, but
Well,
nonetheless.
Actually, Reardon, to give you an example, I read one thing about this highway. It transports $94 million worth of
Stuff?
materials every day on semis.
So I would say 80, 94 confidently because 80, 94 is a real busy highway. Lots of
Busy
people
highway.
going. Yeah.
busiest highway in
So
America.
let's just say for the day, they shut down from like Klein Avenue all the way down to Illinois state line.
So what was the economic impact of having to shut that down?
Probably insane. And
Billions?
From what I saw,
B?
Governor Newsom
Two planes, a ballroom and a patio, or 2 planes, a ballroom, a patio, and letting George out of jail. Which the total amount?
And
then some more?
Yeah.
Wow.
But so Governor Newsom, I saw, got a lot of flack for shutting it down because this is going to impact a lot of businesses. But
Right.
it looks like this man is freaking psychic because
Who
it
could have
turns
known?
out
the future.
the thing that they were worried was going to happen and why they prematurely closed it down happened.
So, shrapnel rained down on a California highway patrol vehicle and a
Because-
motorcycle that was part of J.D. Vance's detail.
Yeah, so because one of the missiles that they were shooting blew early. They're
And-
not supposed to blow until they hit impact.
Who could have known that
and-
shooting
Maybe it hit a bird or
ordnance
something.
across a fucking highway might have some
Might be
possible
risks associated with
might
it.
be some risk
Okay, so-
associated with that, John.
Imagine doing that, but then you've got a bunch of cars full of gasoline driving below it, you know?
And families in minivans.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Tankers.
think of that. Gone their way to Disneyland in California, going to see the coast, going to the ocean. So, okay, I'm going to frame this for the other side. If a Democrat controlled, if Gavin Newsom
Did
was
this.
shooting this, he would be in jail right now for attempted assassination on J.D. Vance.
Yes.
That's what the story would
for
read.
Sure.
That's a good
J.D.
point.
Vance dodges death based on Newsom's
Missile.
bombs,
Yeah.
missile attack.
But Newsom would never
Would be the fucking
shoot
headline on
missiles
Fox.
over
And-
civilians.
Right.
Who the fuck's... All right, come on, man.
Okay, so the exercise was canceled after the shell prematurely exploded.
Probably hit a bird or something like that.
So Newsom strongly objected, obviously, to this. He called it an absurd show of force and totally uncalled for. But Rep. Daryl Issa
Can I
over
see the
there,
name?
Yeah.
Can you scroll down? So I can see?
ISSA.
ISSA,
ISSA.
said it was a spiteful publicity stunt by Newsom to close this highway, and there was no risk.
There's
and
no risk. Oh,
yeah.
but I don't know if you've ever had this happen when you're driving down the highway. There's a car accident. A car's on fire on the shoulder, and everybody immediately brakes and
Oh,
slows
sure.
down
You
to
got
look.
the
Yeah.
rubberneckers.
You got missiles flying over a highway. I bet you everyone's going to be looking like
What the
this
fuck? Like, what is
at the
happening?
head. That's going to cause some accidents.
Like, what's
just-
happening?
Even if there wasn't a premature explosion, that's still a risk. People are stupid
Is
on
there
the
anything
highways.
logical about any of this? Hey,
Everything's like a meme now. It's like everything is weird.
I mean, imagine if that
It's because
proposal comes
everything
to
is
your desk,
stupid.
John. All right, John. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna. It's the Marines' 250th birthday. We're gonna shoot ordnance off. It'll be kind of cool. Okay, that sounds all right. Where are you gonna do it? Well, we got to shoot it across the highway. Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
don't
shoot
know.
it from the
We
ocean.
have to.
I don't know.
To
I don't know
base.
if we should probably do that. Should we worry about the highway? Nah, fuck it. It's a big deal. I mean, what could it go wrong?
It's the big deal. And by the way, the
Like I
vice
said,
president will be there watching.
They don't
Yeah,
look
Vance
into
will
the
be there. He's
future.
a Marine. He'll be fine. Fucking do it. How do you even get there?
How do you get there?
get to that point?
Yeah.
Arrogance and ignorance is no fucking way to run a railroad.
Honestly, this made me I'm kind of iffy on Gavin Newsom. I think he's funny. He uses humor. His social media is crazy, but I don't know a lot about him. This definitely has made me want to pay attention to him a little bit more, and I think that
It
honestly,
would be irresponsible if he didn't close the highway.
yeah, and I'm so sad that they didn't think of this and that somebody else had to intervene to protect the citizens.
Hey man,
because
you know what? Hey, Millet. I mean, you could have really run this out. If you're Gavin Newsom, you could have made a bigger deal of it and said,
Well-
"Hey, at what point will you guys be shooting live
ammunition.
fire exercise across Highway 5? When will you be doing that? So let me know so I can coordinate to stop traffic
Yeah.
so you don't accidentally shoot anybody."
Right.
So we're good to do that. I just need to coordinate so
Yeah.
we can stop traffic. We don't care how much that has the economic impact of stopping that does.
Yeah.
But we just want to make sure nobody gets killed. I mean, that would have been a brilliant way to play it, because then what happens? The federal government's going to go, well, no one's going to get hurt. And then somebody might go, yeah, you probably shouldn't shoot it across the highway.
Yeah,
dumbass."
it's a hell of a. Well, I would like to see the map where they're shooting from, because I
Me
heard
too,
they were
yeah.
shooting from the ocean into the base.
Really?
They
Jeez.
have
Seems like you'd want to do that the
a place
opposite
where
way.
Where does it land in the base?
Well, but also, like, are there houses underneath this?
Where does it land? There's the
trajectory?
title, John. Where does it land?
Or were they going from the base to the ocean?
Where does it land? Nobody knows. Why are you
Like,
shooting
but, like,
across the
are there
highway?
people under
Christ
there?
almighty, there's federal laws prohibiting hunters from shooting
Why are
across
we doing
railroads. You can't even do that legally.
All
For
right.
God's sake.
Well, anyway.
We gotta go.
Now
This
that
is some
Reardon's...
North Korea bullshit.
I'm
like,
sufficiently pissed off and
Your blood
puzzled by
pressure is
the
up.
stupid. It's just asinine. One dumb thing after
Are you
another.
on blood pressure medication?
You are.
I'm not.
Oh.
If you can imagine.
You might
that.
want to consider.
I could.
You're a bit fiery for being on
Well,
it.
every time I get into this whole thing, it just hurts my brain because it's not logical. There's no logical end to that. It's like we're going to be fiscal conservatives, but then I'm going to go out and buy 2 jets and fix the fucking White House and knock this shit down and spend all this money because
Well,
I
no
want
one-
a patio and a
yeah.
ballroom. It's just not logical. It doesn't go together. Hey, I'm worried about people getting free shit. But now I'm going to give farmers free shit because of my tariff policies that fuck them up because I pissed off my largest customer. It's like, come on, man.
It makes no sense.
Does it?
Like
Thanks,
I said,
John.
Point A to point B. There's something fuzzy in the middle. They don't understand how things work.
Don't care.
No consequences.
Hats off
or
to the
actions.
New York Giants fan that really left it all out in the field on Sunday.
I wanna see
You
a
played
picture of
harder
that
than the
face.
Giants did in the fourth quarter, sir.
Wrap us up, you two. And I'll,
Well,
All right.
as we know, Kevin is down with Tom, the locomotive,
Holding hands.
doing some book learning down
Yep.
there at AIM. My question is, why am I
Studiously.
not down at AIM?
Yeah.
I'm not going.
You're not a
down.
mayor. I'm sorry.
Well, they have all kinds of classes down there,
yeah.
but yeah, I'm not going.
No,
It's
you
too
go either.
far, and I don't have an RV to drive down with my RV buddy Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Did Tom bring the dog with him? He should have just
Probably
done
not.
all that. Get in the RV.
Maybe.
Anyway, thanks for listening today at LockPod. Thanks, Lindsay, for being hoodwinked to come in here and help John and I
So happy to be
muddle
here.
through the show.
Yeah.
It's always interesting. Cantrell was pretty serious today, so you could
He
tell he had some
was.
shit on his
You
mind.
could tell, yeah.
He had some work to get done. And Vesmar, thanks again. You're a hell of a producer. I don't care what McDermott says about you.
You're welcome, and thank you for leading us today.
No, not a
Great
problem.
show.
I enjoy the BS. It's fun.
All right.
LockPod out. LockPod out. Episode 28, section 32. B8. Done.
See ya.
No more.
Bye. Bye, guys. See you later.